It's so interesting. I'm getting a kick and I'm getting excited from deleting the video that I filmed because it's interesting to make a mistake and then redo it because I know that I'm not going to feel bad about it due to the fact that the alternative is to get bored because I don't watch social media every day until I go to sleep. I know that if I stop filming or I don't do anything, I'm gonna get very, very bored and it's gonna feel bad. And I'm gonna wanna watch social media. I didn't have coffee for my espresso machine, so I had to boil some Turkish coffee. And it's quite nice. So, the biggest benefit from quitting social media is not that my brain is at 100% capacity and I can express myself and I can really put ideas out there in a more coherent manner. That's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing is that I don't feel the resistance. Whenever I want to do something, I don't feel that pesky resistance because I don't feel bad internally and mentally. So whenever I put myself to do some kind of work like a course or a video or an idea that I have, because the alternative is to get bored and not do anything, which is very boring, I start doing it. Even if I don't really feel 100% there, I feel just a bit of a, I still feel a bit of resistance, but it's not a resistance like, oh, I'm not ready to do this. I'm like, I don't want to expand the effort, but then I go like, okay, what's the alternative? Just staying or sitting around or walking in the park or whatever. So I might as well just do something with the hours that I have in a day. And I think that's a great position to be in to realize that doing the things that you want to do and the achieving the things that you want to achieve are a better alternative than just sitting around. I know it's obvious, but that trade off is not always on the table for the brain because sometimes just sitting around feels better for the brain because it's zapped of energy. And I didn't make that connection between social media and social media consumption, audiobooks, podcasts, TV series, all kinds of things, and the fact that I had brain fog and an internal feeling, and it created so much resistance because I was overstimulated and zapped of energy at the same time. So my brain was running at 100 miles an hour, and also at the same time, it was consuming a lot of energy, and it was zapping and cutting my brain capacity in half, especially if I did a long, like multiple day watch. My brain would just get even. I kind of slipped and cheated one day, and I watched 2.5 hours, just 2.5 hours, and not on a session, in more sessions during the day. And at the halfway mark of the day, I was like, my brain is dead. I was like at 70% mental capacity, and it felt awful. And I just was like, okay, no more social media for today. And it took me like 3 hours to get back into it to be at 100%. It was so bad. It took the exact same, more than the time that I watched social media to get back at the level. I kind of noticed that if I watch like 5 minutes here and there of social media, but it's more about a subject that I want to do something on, like a video editing tutorial or something like that, it doesn't really kill my brain. But I'm not going to play with that too much because I don't want to build a habit of, oh, social media is good. No, it's only if you search for something. So the thing is, Not even that. I don't want to use the idea because I wanted now to create an excuse if I need to learn something. If I search for something, then the social media is okay if I'm learning something. But that gets you really fast into a rabbit hole. From you jump from something that's educational to something that's entertainment to something that's whatever. So no, not even that. I already know to do how to do a lot of things, so I don't need to. I'm not in the period of my life where I need to learn more. I'm in the period of my life where I need to get the experience to do more. So it's not a lack of equipment, it's not a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of experience and skill. So I need to sharpen my skills and my language and my vocabulary, my lexicon, my contact, eye contact with the camera, and all of those things in order to become a better content creator. I don't really want to become a content creator, even though I am. I've realized, well, I did the math yesterday, so I sent a few photos to a friend. I published 374 videos in the last 4 months, less than 4 months, 3 months and 3 weeks. So that's crazy. So that's nice. I've been able to do that just because I built some systems around the things that I do. I have a diary. This is the diary of a friend. This is one video. Well, I shoot two videos for this video, one in the morning and one at night. The one in the morning is what I want to do that day, plus the things and topics that I want to talk about that day, how I feel, what happened, whatever, things like that. And at the end of the day, it's like a small recap of the day and what I achieved and how I felt and what happened and if I slipped and watched social media or I went out to drink or something like that. And the other ones are making videos when I meditate. And I have another channel where I review tech, but I don't really review tech anymore because I don't really have that much tech. I should, because I still have a few things, but thing is, it's a I still have the microphone, the cameras. I could do a bit of a tech review in that on that channel, but I did some editing tutorials, just some simple editing tutorials, and I challenged myself to treat them like this video, just talking and explaining and speaking my mind on the subject. Because when it comes to teaching, I'm a bit better than just coming up with subjects that are random. It's also easier because you lean on the activity itself to dictate what you say. So it's much easier to come up with a script per se in that manner. Manner per se. I'm using things and mannerisms. So it's easier to lean on the painting or the video editing thing to really the editing program or the video or the camera or the object that you are reviewing. It's easier to do that because the script kind of writes itself. And my mind wanted to do it in a classical way, the classical way of making a YouTube channel, a YouTube video where you cut all the mistakes and you just make a lot of videos. You wait, you do, you redo, you reshoot, you retalk, you re-say something to be more impactful. But I realized that no, I don't want to do that. It already felt the moment I repeated myself and I said another sentence twice because I stumbled my words, I made a mistake. I started saying it again, and then I was like, my brain got like, oh no, Now I have to do proper editing. Jesus, I hate that. I don't really hate it, but I feel like it's not really helping me become this person who can talk and speak freely on the camera on a subject that I want to. So I was panicking. And after I continued for about 30 minutes until I finished the whole tutorial about how to color grade, and yeah, I deleted the video and I did it again. And just like that, the first try, well, it wasn't the first try, almost got to the end in the first try. And it was faster, better, and I think it was just a bit more interesting. So I actually watched it, about half of it, on my laptop afterwards, after I edited it. All I did is I cut the end and the beginning, and then I put the screen recording on top, and I put myself in the corner. So that's all I did for the editing. It took like 5 minutes and some color grading. So that's how I edit videos. I don't do cuts in the middle of the video. So the point was that I failed at that attempt as well. And I restarted and made it again. And because I started it 3 times, then I was like, okay, I got into a flow. I could make this tutorial. And then I made another one. And then I made a talking head video for the same channel talking about skills and how you don't need a camera, you don't need a microphone, you already have all those things. And those things are not really important at the beginning. And it doesn't even matter, not even after the beginning. So when you get into an intermediary or a better creator, you don't really need a camera or you don't really need a microphone that much. It doesn't really matter. Those things are not the ones that are contributing to your success. They are, but not in the same way as the skills that you develop to be more charismatic, to better emote, to talk in front of the camera, to move your hands, to be expressive, and to be joyful. I think those are the things that really, really make you special. I think those are the things that people don't pay attention to. They think that they need to have a $3,000 camera, a $500 microphone, and whatever, and a $2,000 lens to make great videos for YouTube when you can basically make a video with your MacBook. I've seen a guy getting, like, on the same subjects that I talk about yesterday. I even commented like we talk about the same subjects. It's crazy. And I noticed that he was using his MacBook camera. It was crazy. I noticed it because it had a like a the MacBook was trying to cut him and make the background blurry, so it wasn't doing it properly, and it was a 720p video. So it wasn't a great video, but the subject got 25,000 views. So yeah, he was having a small little lavalier mic, I think a $10 lavalier mic plugged into his MacBook, and was so easy. Just 25,000 views. I'm not getting that, but it doesn't really matter. 25,000 views with a MacBook camera, with the camera on his, I know it's a MacBook because it had the thing where it cuts you out to make the blurry background, and it doesn't cut you out properly. So it's trying to be a more professional camera with just, yeah, it doesn't matter. So it was really interesting to see that, to notice that people are making good videos just with the topic. And he didn't cut, he had like 5 cuts in a 20-minute video. So that's great. He did have a lot of planning. I think he was really reading off of something. I think his MacBook, actually. So he wasn't looking into the camera like this. He was looking like that. So that's how I noticed. He was either looking at himself or he was looking at the screen to just see the thing. It was interesting because I am dealing with kind of the same problems. I could tell that his brain was not really functioning at the level of energy that he was outputting. So it wasn't like whenever you're hype in a real way and not forcing it out to talk very fast and to be very energetic when you are feeling yourself into that energy. I know it sounds like pretentious and woo woo, but like I'm just talking about the levels of hype that you have. So when you are feeling like that and you have the words and you have the charisma and you have all of those things, it doesn't feel like you are like it also matches your the way you move, the way you look at the camera, your eye movements, everything. It matches everything. So it was a bit of a discrepancy. I could tell. You can only tell this if you make videos. I could tell that his level of energy was not really at the level at he was as he was feeling. So he was like making an effort to get to that level of energy, and he understood that that level of energy really attracts and keeps people in. I was actually, for the first minutes, I was just watching. I wasn't listening at all to the video. I was just looking at what he does and how he speaks, and it was interesting to notice that. So he was talking about, of course, about quitting social media on YouTube. So that's funny. But he had a different idea. I It doesn't work for me. He had the idea to consciously consume. So he didn't make proper cuts. Like I don't whenever I want to work, I don't consume any social media until I finish the work. Not before, not during, not in on a break. No social media until I go to sleep. So he was advocating for more of a lenient way to consume social media. He called it, I think, conscious consuming. So that sounds nice, but for me, it doesn't work. It doesn't really work to just consume throughout the day and rack up 5 minutes there, 3 minutes there, 10 minutes there, 5 minutes there. It just zaps my brain. I think, I don't know why, but it just kills my overall productivity. So that's an idea. The idea that I'm putting out there is that during the day until you finish your work that you wanted to do that day, you are not allowed to watch social media. And if you don't finish the work and you haven't done anything and you go to bed to sleep, you can watch social media still. So it's better during the day, even if you don't do anything and you don't achieve what you set out to do, to just get bored and not watch any content. So it's better to just sit around and get bored and do nothing than to watch social media during the day. And you build that habit of getting bored, you build that habit of just sitting around, and it's not really a habit because you feels bad. So you can't really, your brain doesn't want to sit in that much. The longest I can sit is about 1 hour, 1 hour and 10 minutes. And still, I start doing stuff around the house. So I start cleaning, I start washing the dishes, I start walking Sophie, and I do all kinds of other things instead of just sitting and doing nothing. After about 8 minutes, I'm like, what do I do now? I want to do something. So, yeah, this is a bit of a longer video. That's nice. So it's a bit of a. I've actually restarted it twice or three times. I don't know. So on top of the 19 minutes that I've been talking to right now, I've also done about 12 to 13 minutes before. So that's great. it started the engine. The first 12 minutes were just to start the engine and get myself going. And just like that, it's another beautiful night. I went out with Sophie to the park and with a friend, and I had one beer, she had one beer, so it was nice. And I went back home, we walked, and now I'm back at home and I need to edit 3 of the videos. You might think I did something today. I want to talk about it. I want to tell you about it. I filmed the video 17 times. Just filmed it 17 times. And you might think that's redundant, that's stupid, and why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do the same task 17 times? And the reason is because I didn't want to do any editing. I wanted to get the video right the first time, and I did. And then I filmed it 3 more times because I edited it and I didn't like it. And then I filmed it 3 more times until I got it perfectly right. And I did get it perfectly right. I'm gonna move the screen over here so I cannot watch myself. And yeah, it was an interesting experience to just be able to not feel any frustration because I filmed the video 17 times. And this is just because I didn't watch any social media today. So I knew the alternative. I finally understood internally that the alternative was to get bored. I actually have, from the video, I have a title card. And yeah, it is great to actually feel boredom, to feel the fact that I'm bored for minutes, tens of minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, it doesn't really matter. But I am bored because of that idea that I don't have anything to do, anything interesting to do except for painting or filming videos or writing or doing something productive. The only options that I have is sitting around or doing something productive. And sitting around is super boring. So I end up going on long walks. Today I went on 4 hours of walking. So yeah, you might say that's bad, but I think it's preferable than to sit 4 hours on social media because I used to have 5 hours actually per day as an average. So I think it's better to just walk outside with Sophie, go to the park and sit around in the park than to watch 5 hours of social media. I prefer to sit in the park and just walk around and see people, and I don't know. It's much better. So I think that's a way better way to spend my time. And this is actually a superpower. Boredom is a superpower. If you get bored, you do the hard things more easily. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.